Close your eyes for a moment and think deeply. Exactly 50 or 100 years from now, what will our Earth look like? When your beloved children or grandchildren spend the prime of their youth on this planet, will they be able to fill their lungs with pure air? Or will they be born onto a planet where the sky is perpetually black, the air is toxic, and every single moment of their existence is a bitter struggle to survive? We, the people of the current generation, have unwittingly brought this beautiful blue planet to the absolute brink of destruction. Under the guise of temporary comfort, blind greed, and so-called development, our ruthless exploitation of nature has left the Earth gasping for breath. But must this trail of devastation continue? Are we going to leave behind a burning hellscape for our future generations? No, we must make the Earth habitable once again. Let this be the greatest and most sacred pledge of our current generation. And the only way to fulfill this monumental pledge, yes, the only way, is to permanently abandon the destructive path of fossil fuels and wholeheartedly embrace modern, renewable energy systems. Global governments spend trillions of dollars every year in suicidal subsidies on the destructive forces of fossil fuels. Only by redirecting those massive funds into the renewable energy sector can we save humanity from an impending, extreme climate catastrophe. But how? Why is this transition so desperately urgent? Come, today let us try to deeply understand the science and the stark reality behind this battle for the Earth's very survival. At the very outset of our discussion, the fundamental question arises: what exactly are fossil fuels? Simply put, coal, petroleum or crude oil, and natural gas. These three are collectively known as fossil fuels. The term fossil refers to the petrified remains of ancient organisms. Essentially, these are fuels formed naturally from the decomposed remains of prehistoric life. Today, the vast majority of the fuel powering the cars we drive, manufacturing the goods in our factories, or generating the electricity that lights up our cities comes from burning these fossil fuels. But how did this fuel end up so deep beneath the Earth's surface? The story behind this dates back hundreds of millions of years, roughly 300 to 360 million years ago, during the Earth's Carboniferous period. This planet was ruled by gigantic dinosaurs, massive marine creatures, and deep, lush fern forests. Due to various cataclysmic natural disasters like massive earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or asteroid strikes, those sprawling forests, aquatic plants, and billions of animals were buried deep beneath the earth and the ocean floor. Then, thousands and millions of years passed. Subjected to the intense heat from the Earth's core and the crushing pressure from the layers of rock and soil above, the remains of those dead plants and animals began to chemically alter in the complete absence of oxygen. The matter that turned into a solid state is what we call coal. That which liquefied under extreme heat and pressure became petroleum, or crude oil. And that which transformed into a gaseous state became natural gas. In other words, the oil or coal we use today is fundamentally a chemical manifestation of solar energy, stored within the bodies of ancient flora and fauna, trapped underground for millions of years. But today, armed with cutting-edge technology, seismic surveys, and monstrous mining machinery, humanity is ripping open the Earth's crust to extract these fossil fuels. The problem is, the carbon that nature had so carefully hidden deep within the Earth over millions of years, modern humans, driven by sheer greed, have dug up and begun burning in the span of just 2 centuries. And this is exactly where the greatest catastrophe began. Burning fossil fuels releases billions of tons of highly toxic greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. Gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxides. The devastating consequences of this are terrifying to even imagine. First, air pollution. This black smoke and fine particulate matter are literally ravaging our lungs. According to the World Health Organization, nearly 7 million people worldwide die prematurely every single year, suffering from respiratory distress, asthma, and cancer caused solely by air pollution. Second, during the maritime transport of oil, tankers frequently leak, resulting in what we call oil spills. This crude oil mixes with ocean waters and completely devastates entire marine ecosystems. Millions of marine animals, fish, and seabirds die agonizing deaths, suffocating from oxygen depletion and the oil's sheer toxicity. Third, the black smoke from burning coal generates acid rain, which poisons river waters and permanently destroys miles upon miles of arable land and forests. The burning of fossil fuels has essentially become a global spectacle of humanity digging its own grave. Science tells us that nature has its own balance, its own ecosystem. But when humans disrupt that equilibrium, nature begins to exact its ruthless revenge. This climate disaster, triggered by the reckless overuse of fossil fuels, is no longer a myth or a mere theory. It is the grim reality unfolding right before our eyes. The greenhouse gases emitted from fossil fuels have created an invisible, thick blanket around the Earth. As a result, while the sun's heat can enter the atmosphere, it can no longer escape back into space. The Earth is turning into a blazing oven. Due to global warming, the planet's average temperature is rising at a frantic, unprecedented pace. Consequently, the millennia-old ice caps and glaciers at the North and South Poles have begun to melt at an unbelievably rapid rate. Scientists have issued dire warnings. If this continues, global sea levels will rise so drastically that by 2050, many of the world's coastal regions and cities, including southern Bangladesh, the Maldives, Venice, and Jakarta, will be permanently submerged underwater. Hundreds of millions of people will lose their ancestral homes, transforming into climate refugees. This disaster is a clear and direct threat to both human and animal survival. As a result of this environmental collapse, weather patterns have become incredibly erratic and violent. Regions that desperately need rain are enduring months of severe droughts, triggering global food crises. Conversely, areas prone to drought are suddenly being battered by unseasonal supercyclones and devastating floods. Ocean waters are absorbing excess carbon and becoming highly acidic, which is destroying coral reefs, leading to mass coral bleaching, the largest habitat for millions of marine species. Extreme heat waves are sparking catastrophic wildfires across forested regions. In the raging infernos of the Amazon and Australia, billions of wild animals have been burned alive to ashes. Nature is warning us loud and clear. If we continue to destroy this ecological balance, the human race too will one day be confined solely to the pages of history. However, amidst all this profound darkness, a magical ray of hope still shines bright. If we choose to, we can still prevent this impending apocalypse, and the name of the sole weapon to save humanity is renewable energy. What exactly is renewable energy? Simply put, it is energy derived from natural sources that are infinite, sources that never run out, no matter how much we use them, and that nature constantly replenishes on its own. From nature's infinite bounty, we harness this energy primarily in 5 major ways. First, solar energy. The sun is the greatest source of power in our solar system. If we could capture all the sunlight that hits the Earth in just a single hour, it would be enough to meet the entire global population's energy demands for a full year. Solar panels directly convert these sunbeams into electricity. Second, wind energy. By installing massive bladed turbines in open plains or along coastlines, the immense kinetic force of the wind is captured to generate vast amounts of electricity. Third, hydropower. Utilizing the powerful currents of fast-flowing rivers or the kinetic energy of waterfalls, turbines are spun using massive dams to generate electricity. Fourth, geothermal energy. By tapping into the intense heat or magma located deep within the Earth's crust, water is heated to create steam, which then drives turbines to produce electricity. And fifth, biomass energy. This is organic gas or biomass energy produced scientifically from agricultural waste, tree branches, or animal manure. Just imagine what a massive blessing it is for us to have a fuel that doesn't require drilling deep into the earth and that emits no black smoke when consumed. The first and absolute greatest advantage is that it is 100% eco-friendly or zero emission. Generating solar or wind power does not release a single gram of carbon dioxide or toxic gas, meaning it plays a direct and highly effective role in stopping global warming. Second, unlike fossil fuels, it will never run out. Sunlight and wind currents will exist for eternity. It is immune to the economic volatility and geopolitical wars tied to fluctuating oil prices. Third, while the initial infrastructure costs might be slightly higher, in the long run, it is significantly cheaper than fossil fuels. But the most fascinating part is that this green energy sector is creating millions of new employment opportunities worldwide, known as green jobs. Furthermore, it is a decentralized power source, meaning even an ordinary person in a rural village can install solar panels on their roof and generate their own electricity independently. Now, you might wonder, is it truly possible to run an entire country exclusively on renewable energy? The answer is an emphatic yes. Many nations across the globe have already turned this into reality, proving that where there is a will, anything is possible. Take Iceland and Norway. These two countries are an absolute marvel to the rest of the world. Iceland generates nearly 100% of its electricity from renewable sources. Norway, too, meets the vast majority of its power demands through renewables, and currently leads the world in the adoption of electric vehicles. Denmark. Denmark can easily be hailed as the king of wind power. They supply more than half of their total national electricity demand using gigantic offshore wind turbines located out in the open ocean. China. There is a strange paradox here. While China is currently one of the world's largest carbon emitters, it is simultaneously an undisputed global superpower in renewable energy production and solar panel research. They have built massive solar parks stretching for miles across their deserts. Germany. Germany's Energiewende, or energy transition policy, is globally acclaimed. By investing heavily in solar and wind power, they are pioneering the path to completely phase out coal and nuclear energy. The reality is this: new technologies are constantly being innovated through research. Battery storage systems are rapidly improving. However, this transition cannot happen overnight. Manufacturing solar panels upgrading storage systems, and modernizing power grids require massive financial investments. But developed nations have realized one crucial thing. The economy of the future will not rely on oil. It will be driven by technology and renewable energy. But here, we must accept a harsh truth. Will the Earth be saved if Iceland or Denmark alone becomes eco-friendly? No. Because climate change carries no passport and recognizes no geographical borders. The black smoke billowing from a factory in America can ruin the environment in Bangladesh, just as pollution in Europe can melt the ice in Antarctica. The Earth is one deeply interconnected ecosystem. Therefore, there is absolutely no chance of winning this war alone. Every nation in the world must work together through mutual cooperation to implement the renewable energy sector globally. History bears witness that since the Industrial Revolution, it is the developed nations that have burned the most fossil fuels, polluted the earth, and grown wealthy in the process. Therefore, today, it is their moral obligation to provide financial and technological support to developing and impoverished nations. Through initiatives like climate finance, solar and wind technologies must be expanded in the poorer nations of Africa and Asia. Patents and technological rights must be made open and accessible through technology transfer. Today, the world must operate as one single family. Just as a hole in one end of a ship will eventually sink the entire vessel, pollution in one corner of the globe will force all of humanity to pay the ultimate price. Time is running out. The warning bells are ringing on the scientists' clocks. We have no plan B left, simply because we do not have a planet B. There is no alternative second Earth we can escape to and survive. To save this planet from inevitable destruction, we do not have a single moment left to wait for tomorrow. Right now. From this very second, the governments of every nation, as well as ordinary citizens, must become highly conscious and take direct action from their respective positions. What must the governments do? Governments around the world must make a highly courageous decision today. According to IMF reports, fossil fuel companies globally receive trillions of dollars in massive, suicidal subsidies every single year. Our tax dollars are being poured out to artificially cheapen the very toxic oil and coal that are killing us. These subsidies must be stopped immediately, right now. Those massive funds must be reallocated and invested into the renewable energy sector, solar panel manufacturing, and electric vehicle research. A stringent carbon tax must be imposed on coal and oil, and green technology must be made accessible and affordable to all. And as ordinary citizens, what is our personal role? Should we merely stare at the government and wait? No. The change must begin in front of the mirror, in your own home. You must become personally aware. Starting today, stop the unnecessary waste of electricity, turning off the fans and lights when you leave a room, keeping your AC at a moderate temperature. These are your primary responsibilities. Reduce your reliance on fossil fuel-powered personal vehicles and get accustomed to public transport, bicycles, or electric vehicles. Stop polluting the environment by throwing plastic waste everywhere. If possible, take the initiative to install solar panels on your own roof and plant more trees. Dear friends, this Earth is no one's inherited property. We are merely temporary guests here. We have essentially borrowed this planet from our future generations. When we finally depart from this Earth, what will we leave behind for our children? A toxic, smog-covered hellscape? Or a habitable, lush, green Earth where they can take a deep breath and smile fearlessly under a clear, open sky? Come, let us look deep into our children's eyes and make this promise. We did not give up. We valued your lives far more than our own temporary comforts. Leaving the dark age of fossil fuels behind, let us step forward into that illuminated future of renewable energy. Come, let us all unite to breathe life back into the Earth once again. In this war to build a green world instead of a carbon-filled one, we must emerge victorious. Because remember, we do not have a second home to survive in. Thank you so much for watching this video with such close attention. If even a single piece of information in this video has stirred your thoughts, if you believe that for the sake of the Earth, this message needs to be heard by everyone, then please share this video with your family and friends right now. Your one share might completely change someone's perspective. What is the current status of renewable energy in your country? What personal steps are you taking to protect the environment? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. To regularly watch more important, life-changing videos like this about the environment, science, and human civilization, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Until then, love nature, stay aware, and join us in this fight to leave behind a habitable Earth for the next generation. Stay well, and thank you.